Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with Marvel Strike Force's newest blog post here, detailing and finally giving us a breakdown of Blue Marvel's full kit, in addition to what he's bringing to Marvel Strike Force. And also, I want to talk to you guys real quickly then now what my game plan is going to be, because as you know, and if you guys have been following my videos, there was a leaderboard event for the first of this ISO 4 releasing. And obviously, I've made a previous update on that I'm completely skipping the event. However, in light of this new information now, we'll talk about what we're going to be doing as a response to this, especially where this character is going to be slotting in to Marvel Strike Force. So let's get into it. The Cosmic Titan. Blue Marvel, he is a titan of power who refuses to fall. His legacy is set to begin in Marvel Strike Force. He lands in battle soon, and with the abilities to transform the battlefield, I love the fact that he's going to be giving an opportunity here for theory crafting, as well as creating frightening squads that's going to test the savvy of opponents. And again, there was an original blog here for his Blue Marvel with how his unlock details are going to be, but in this blog anyways, it actually talks more about his skill set and how he's going to be different from other characters in Marvel Strike Force. So first and foremost, a plug-and-play powerhouse whose might transcends game modes. I really like the fact that it seems like they're going to be bringing him into a plug-and-play aspect across different game modes, which gives us value there. He takes the lead on offense, but as well, he's going to have some specific perks on defense that make him very unique and also bolster the squads of different allies that he's also teamed up against. So I really like that aspect because it is going to be a different dynamic from what we've seen in other characters. Actually kind of gives me Black Knight vibes because of, you'll see, the focus here is going to be on defense. And again, something else that's really cool is Blue Marvel's attacks, all of them do ignore defense up. And with each and every attack, he also reduces the duration of safeguard and immunity. So we haven't had a Marvel Strike Force character that across the board with the basic, the special, and the ultimate reducing the duration. That there's a couple of characters in game that can do one or the other depending on their ability, but it's also very limited, right? His basic and passive both also reduce the max HP of his target, while special can't be blocked or dodged, and his ultimate is also unavoidable. So this actually is very, very similar to how, you know, you have Xavier and Mephisto when they do that true damage. It is a permanent reduction to their HP as well. Increasing strength. Blue Marvel also gets stronger with each turn that he and his enemies take. So in each of Blue Marvel's turns, he's going to be gaining additional damage and resistance up to a maximum plus 75%. And at the end of the enemy's turn, he's also gaining speed and armor up to a maximum 80%. So think of him as a super steroids. I think Silver Surfer was one of the other characters in the game where he can additionally keep generating speed and other buffs, but this is going to be a very rare character because we don't see a lot of that in Marvel Strike Force, which means that the longer they stay in battle, they're going to be getting a very significant bonus. So you don't want Blue Marvel to be sticking around longer than he should be. Built to endure, born to defend. He also features special targeting and abilities while on defense that'll make your opposition think he's indestructible. So that where this mechanic and dynamic comes from is the fact that when he is on defense, his special actually targets the enemy with the least speed, and this also ignores taunt and stealth, so that's not going to be protecting those or mitigating that in those instances. In addition to that, his ultimate also turns into an attack all if an enemy has a charge. So you really don't want to have any characters with charge against Blue Marvel because it's going to work against you. And on spawn, he also gains additional speed bar if an enemy has charge. So really working against that charge mechanic there and meant to counter that. Although his sustain isn't locked to defense, Blue Marvel is also tough to eliminate in battle. He heals and barriers each turn while also healing himself per negative effect cleared after an enemy's turn. So you can see he's doing really a bit of everything in terms of what he's sustaining himself with, the passive buffs that he's providing. And then again, we haven't even talked about his abilities, just his raw capabilities alone. Which leads me to question, guys. I mean, even before the announcement of his kit, it's so interesting. I mean, we heard this vocalized from other content creators in the envoys, and this is not a fault to them. I'm not saying it is, but they heard from other, direct Scopely staff that Blue Marvel was not going to be, more powerful than Mephisto or Odin. But honestly, I would question that. Right now, given everything we've kind of seen with this kid right now, he seems like a standalone, stronger character than Mephisto, and at least I would say maybe even on par with Odin or maybe better. So that's just my 2 cents, guys. Just reading his kit overall in terms of just understanding what he's going to be bringing, and especially that plug and play impact. So you can see here his traits. He's going to be classified as a hero, cosmic bio controller, epic character. But again, I wouldn't take that epic tag too lightly, just because we've seen other epic characters. He's in another ball field of his own. I mean, he just completely blows the other epic characters out of the water. I mean, he's basically a borderline mythic. So big scopely miscommunication there. I think they just put the tag there for including him because they couldn't call him a mythic character, but he basically is a pseudo mythic character. And then you'll see this here as well from the breakdown. His basic, again, all his abilities reduce the duration of safeguard. On defense, this attack also targets the enemy with the highest HP. So you can see, depending on what happens on defense, depending on if he uses the special, basic, or the ultimate, it does different mechanics, and that's kind of what's unique to him. On top of that, he also has the ISO 8 mechanic where he's going to be attacking the target for additional piercing damage, also ignoring defense up and can't be blocked. So either way, just really powerful. You can see here his special also starts off at 4 out of 4, gaining offense up, reducing the duration, applying the opposite of all positive effects, transferring all negatives, attacking primary and adjacent targets. On defense, again, it targets the enemy with the least speed bar. On the ultimate side, he also can use this ability right from the get-go because it's 6 out of 6. And very similar, reducing the buffs that we see, attacking primary adjacent targets, flipping charges to bleeds, and then as well, if enemy does have charge, he's going to be attacking all enemies instead. So it really, works against you when you do have any kind of charge mechanic. And then finally, we kind of read a little snapshot of all the passes, but the defense up, barrier each turn. He has a self-sustaining mechanic, gaining additional 15% resistance and damage up to a maximum of 75 each turn. So pretty massive here, guys. And honestly, same with the speed and armor mechanic as well. When an enemy kills an ally or on defense, when an enemy becomes empowered, he's also going to be attacking that enemy for additional piercing. So any kind of enemy that has empowered, like Apocalypse Mephisto, that also is going to work against them. And where that reasoning comes, I believe he's definitely going to be on the same level as Mephisto, or even better already, like I said, due to that direct counter. And then what's also interesting is until he completes a turn, he can't be stunned. So it doesn't mean he's unstunnable, but it just means that he's not going to be stopped in the very beginning. And the speed and the focus of this character and all allies can only be reduced by negative effects. And then finally, he also gains additional barrier and drain. So guys, I think he's going to be a very meta-changing character. I think we're going to very strongly see him in all game modes, including Arena. And that's where now I can talk about what my next steps will be. So previously I said I'm probably skipping this event, but in light of his kit, in light of how strong his character is, he's basically on the same level as Sentry, or better, in my honest opinion. Because I don't think Sentry is better than Odin. I think he's going to be definitely formidable. But I think Blue Marvel's on the same level as Odin. And like I said, the only other character better than him, technically on paper, right now is either Odin or Xavier. So I am going to be probably now participating in this event. So I'm keeping an eye on that. But if I do, guys, I'll make an update video on how much gold I'm going to be spending. But this does change things now because this is a very powerful character. And we now have limited time events where we can take advantage of ISO 8. And also, having said that, because this is such a limited time event, now we can start using something as limited as gold to get ahead of the competitors so we can get first advantage. Because the sooner you unlock characters like this is when you can gain that competitive edge against your enemies. So there you guys have it. Awesome hype day. I'm glad they were finally released this kit to give us more information on what to do with this event now. So stay tuned, guys. We'll be back with more. Thank you for your time as always, and do let me know what you guys think about Blue Marvel as well, now that we have this information released. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.